The key to dealing with your circumstances is don't think about what you're seeing. If you are triggered and you have to go cry or you're frustrated, think as the person who has what they want. So one of my members wanted me to make a video again on why circumstances don't matter. So here we go. Circumstances are circumstances, okay? Sometimes they can seem like they are so difficult and they could tear you down, right? If you allow it to. A lot of times we believe that we are in positions where we have to see it to believe it, and we have to see things change first before we can believe it. And what we see in our reality is basically a solid fact. But all of those are misleading, and that is just not the truth. I believe that we've been taught to look at life in the wrong way our entire life, because everything actually happens the opposite. Any single thing that you see in your reality, any single circumstance that you are faced with, they are only there because you created it, okay? And I don't say that to alarm you. And I don't say that for you to go and beat yourself up for certain things that you may have experienced or you are experiencing right now. Because, like I've said in another video, you sometimes don't have, sometimes things that happen in your reality are from beliefs that weren't even your own, okay? But the point is, any circumstance that you see, it is there because of thoughts that were persisted in, beliefs that you have, and assumptions that were made, okay? And the beauty is, no matter what the circumstance is, you have the ability to change it, okay? If you remain the same person and you continue to give your circumstances that you see your power, then you're going to continue to feel like a victim of your life. You're going to continue to feel depleted, and you are going to continue to feel defeated. Like, you give away so much whenever you engage with these circumstances, okay? And again, I get it. Sometimes these circumstances in your life can seem so hard. They can seem so real, but it's an illusion. And I don't know if y'all have heard before, like, people will say everything is an illusion. I don't like to look at everything as an illusion, because then that puts you in the mindset of, well, is life even real? Is all of this stuff even real? Yes, it's real, but I believe that the circumstances that you are faced with, the things that you don't wish to experience in your reality that show up, those are the illusions, okay? Those are the things that you do not want to get fooled by, tricked by, and fall into the trap of persisting in those things. Because this is how it goes. A circumstance shows up in your reality, and it's a circumstance of something that you do not want to experience. The moment you entertain that circumstance, the moment you give it your energy, your focus, your awareness, you are implying to your subconscious mind, this is what I want more of. So then you continue to get similar experiences, or you continue to deal with the same dumb stuff, okay, that you don't want to deal with. But when you become a conscious creator, when you are a conscious being, all right, what you do instead is, when you are faced with circumstances, because you are aware of who you are, because you are aware that your thoughts create, your decisions are what you experience in your reality, you have a different approach to the circumstance, okay? So something pops up, instead of you reacting to it like you would normally react, you think as the version of you who has what they want instead. I like to look at circumstances sometimes as a blessing, because you now see and are aware of what you do not want. So if the person is showing up how you don't want, if the money isn't showing up, if the boss is showing up how you don't want them to, your parents, your grades, your children, hell, even traffic, if things are showing up the way you don't like, that is now giving you the opportunity to be aware of what you do want, be aware of what you do like, what you want to experience. So when you see the circumstance, you think as the person who has what they want, instead of thinking as the person who is experiencing the circumstance that is in front of them right now. Now, I understand that could be a little delusional. It could be a little crazy, if you will. You may feel a little different, but that is what I believe we are supposed to do. That is what we should have been taught this entire time, because that is what gets you off the hamster wheel. That's what gets you off the hamster wheel. If you feel like you are continuing to experience the same circumstance over and over and over again, and you keep getting the same outcomes over and over again, that is because you keep giving your circumstances your focus, your awareness, your attention. And even if you're affirming, right? But then you still get triggered by the 3D, and then you're affirming, and then you still get triggered by the 3D. You're contradicting yourself, you're contradicting your power. So, it isn't going to be until you get sick of yourself and you're tired of experiencing these same things over and over, and you desire to see change for real, that you'd be like, enough is enough. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know that I'm not supposed to keep giving this circumstance my focus and my attention, because where my focus is, that is what I'm going to experience. What are you focused on? So it doesn't matter what is physically in your reality. That is an illusion. That is what the illusion is, because it's not something you created consciously. It's not something you decided on consciously, okay? Because you were persisting in these unaware, unconscious, thoughts and visualizations because you just didn't know. And if you know better, you're gonna do better, right? A circumstance will not survive. A circumstance, it also is not permanent. It's not gonna stay. It's not going to stay. It's not permanent. Anything can be changed. Anything. I don't care what it is. Anything can be changed. But you have to allow yourself to experience that change. All right. So if you're faced with this circumstance right now, and you feel like this circumstance is so hard, and it is draining you and depleting you, I want you to step back into your power, right? This is where you use your self-concept from yesterday's video. Use your self-concept and get yourself together. Remind yourself who you are, first of all, okay? Because whatever this circumstance is, it got there because of you. It got there because of an unconscious version of you. And if you can so easily and effortlessly, unconsciously persist in negative thoughts of things that you don't want, and then it shows up as solid fact in your reality, and now you believe that this is true for yourself, you can do the same equation, okay? But do it with what you want instead. But then with that, sometimes I notice people can contradict themselves in that way. Well, what if it doesn't work out? You didn't question if the negativity wouldn't work out. You didn't question if that was going to be a reality for you. You just blindly had faith in it, okay? You blindly had faith in the unseen, and it became seen. The thing is, you're always having faith. You're always having faith in something. So have faith in what you want. That circumstance can change overnight. Okay, but you have to allow that to be an option for yourself by persisting in the unseen yet again, but persisting in the unseen of what you do want, because you've already proven to yourself that you can make it happen. You've already proven to yourself that you can manifest effortlessly, because I guarantee if you sit down and you think about your thoughts on that particular circumstance that is in front of you, think about the thoughts that you were having, think about the things that the people around you were maybe saying, or things that you've seen on TV. Think about the things that you were being saturated with, okay? And does it correlate to the circumstance in front of you? And if the answer is yes, which I'm pretty sure it will be, then you have proven to yourself that you can effortlessly manifest, okay? You just effortlessly did it because that's your nature. That's who you are. You're always doing it. It's natural to you. So if it's natural to you and you didn't have to do anything other than persist in a thought, be consistent in a story that you kept telling yourself, that you made so real to yourself, that you immersed yourself into, do the same with what you want. And it boggles me sometimes, because we can really persist in things and really convince ourselves that something is true when we have no evidence of it. We have no physical proof of it. And then here we are in these circumstances that we don't want. So Why can't you just convince yourself of what you do want? Why can't you just convince yourself that you have what you want? Because you're scared? Because you're scared of having what you want? Just persist. Just be consistent. You shouldn't be scared of having what you want because you're going to get what you decide on regardless. So decide you have a beautiful life. Decide you have a perfect life. But these circumstances that keep popping up, it's telling you something. It's showing you something. It's making you become aware of how you've been so that you can change who you're going to be, who you're going to assume you are right now. Those circumstances are there for a reason, right? And the reason is because you put them there. You put them there through your thoughts, through your imagination. So don't give it your power. Don't feel defeated by it, Like, it's a circumstance. And yes, again, sometimes things can be super triggering. I know. Sometimes things can feel so like draining and so real. I feel like when you just accept it, okay? Acceptance really brings you peace. And that's what I tend to do. If I see a circumstance in my reality, I just accept it. Okay? I just be like, okay, well, I know I'm the one that created this. I may go look and see what thoughts I was thinking of how this particular thing got there, but it shows me who I need to be. It shows me who I need to be internally and mentally. And those circumstances disappear. They go away and it's nothing. It's nothing. And I have just again taught myself how to not react, not be emotional. And I used to be the total opposite. The moment I see something, I'm spazzing out in my mind, having all these negative thoughts, going crazy, thinking all these different things, frustrating myself, crying. Like, that is not who you want to be. You're out of alignment with what you truly desire. And if that's how you're being, if you're feeling, overstimulated and frustrated and all of those things, it is because you need to change who you're being. Change who you're being. Allow yourself grace, okay? That is super important. Don't beat yourself up over any circumstance, but I want you to understand that you're greater than that. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. You're better than any circumstance. You can change it. You could change it overnight. You could change it in a week. You could change it however fast it needs to be changed, okay? But whatever the circumstance is, write it down. Go sit down after this video and write it down. Write down the circumstance that you're dealing with, okay? Then think about the thoughts that you are having around this circumstance, things that people told you, things that you saw. Because sometimes we see other people experience things and we accept those as our beliefs and we think that that's going to happen to us, and then it ends up happening to us. So write down your beliefs about this circumstance, because now you've put it on paper and you can actually physically look at it and see where all of this is coming from. Then just accept the fact that that was once who you were being, and accept that you are no longer that version of you. You are no longer the person that has to deal with this. And then from there, you can create a new circumstance, okay, which is what you desire to experience. So take that negative circumstance and flip it to what you do desire to experience. Then create new thoughts that are aligned with that desire, with that new circumstance. And that's how you start thinking. Okay. And when you get triggered by the circumstance that is in your reality, if something pops up, something comes to mind, you physically see something, that's when you take those thoughts from that new desire, that new circumstance, and you just start thinking them. Okay. It doesn't hurt to think them multiple times throughout the day, but especially in moments where you feel triggered by your circumstance, you feel triggered by your reality, that's where you need to affirm and think the thoughts of having what you want instead of confirming the thoughts of not having what you want, okay? Because I say this in a lot of videos, but your subconscious mind does not have physical eyes. So every time you confirm what you see with your physical eyes, you are confirming to your subconscious, this is what I have. This is what I want more of. This is my story. So the trick to this and the key to this, okay, the key to dealing with your circumstances is don't think about what you're seeing. If you are triggered and you have to go cry or you're frustrated, think as the person who has what they want and don't think as the person who has what is in front of them right now that they can see physically, okay? The way you diminish what's in front of you physically is to deal with it in a different way. Okay, think differently. So, just to give you an example before I end this video, if you, let's just use school and university for an example, right? And you took a test, right? And you don't feel like you did good on that test, okay? You hear everybody in the classroom talking about they thought they studied well for the test, but they don't think they did good on it, and they're all freaking out. And that could cause you to freak out too, because now this is a circumstance in your reality where you possibly may not pass this test that is super important, okay? An unconscious version of you will allow the environment to dictate what you're thinking and feeling. But the conscious version of you is going to understand you have control over every single experience. So this circumstance is not greater than you. So all you have to do is, as you are hearing and seeing your circumstances around you, internally you are like, nope, I passed that test. That test was actually so easy for me. I passed. I got the highest score on that test. And that's how you talk to yourself, no matter what the circumstances look like in front of you, okay? No matter what the reality looks like, because the reality is only a reflection of you anyway. It is only a reflection of who you are internally. Every single thing that you see that you think is a solid object is just a reflection. It was molded into your reality based upon your thoughts and your assumptions, okay? So as you persist as the person who passed the test and you don't allow the circumstances to dictate how you're going to think, when those tests come back, you are going to pass. You're going to see a passing grade. You are going to see exactly what you persisted in, as long as you don't contradict yourself, okay? So that's how you persist through a circumstance. Of course, if you have to physically deal with something, physically deal with it. But internally, mentally, visually, it is only what you desire it to be, and you don't confirm what you actually see, because that's how you stay on the hamster wheel and you continue to deal with circumstances that honestly don't matter because you create it all anyway, okay? So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down for me below. If you would like guidance or assistance with your manifestations, I do offer phone and email coaching. The link is in the description. I also have a YouTube membership. We have the Creator Circle and the Group Coaching Circle. With group coaching, you get everything that Creator Circle has, but you also get one-on-one group coaching, weekly live streams, and videos made to your submissions. I also have this available on Patreon if you don't have YouTube membership in your country. And if you watch this video until the end, I appreciate you so much, and I will see y'all in the next video.